So how should the Indian Muslim now respond to the Ram temple? Joining me now is Lieutenant General Zameer Uddin Shah, former Vice Chancellor AMU, a distinguished army man who was part of a group of Muslim leaders or intellectuals who had met with the RSS and started a dialogue. Lieutenant Shah, a day after that Ram Mandir consecration ceremony, the Prime Minister saying Ram belongs to everyone, the RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat talking about the need for compassion to reach out to people. How do you respond? Should there now be more bridge building, interfaith dialogue?
Of course. Rajdeep, I've always believed that there's no way out for the country other than dialogue. And because of this, we have carried out a dialogue, extensive dialogue with the RSS. And I think the process of dialogue must continue. The inauguration of the Ram temple, hopefully, will end the conflicts and bloodshed which arose before it came into being. Possible conflicts would have been heightened. I know there's been one conflict in Bombay, but I think in the rest of the country, most of the country, there's been no muscle flexing and victory marches. These would be unnecessary, instigation for action against such marches. So hopefully, this is going to be the end.
Are you saying, Lieutenant General Shah, that Muslims have reconciled now to the idea that a temple has been built, that they have forgotten December 6, 1992, they want to look ahead and not look behind? Do you believe that's, in a way, the way you see it?
Yes, hopefully. We've left December 6th behind when the Babri Masjid was demolished. And we have only to look ahead. And what I see from what I heard from the reconciliatory talks by the Prime Minister, Bhagwatji, and the Chief Minister of UP. And of course, the most important thing which I saw was the presence of former retired chiefs of army, chiefs of the defense forces. Their presence, hopefully, has tilted the balance towards moderation. I think this is one important thing. Now, what were the statements of the Prime Minister? He said that Ram belongs to all. We can't dispute that. He is an entity in India and in the South Asia, and certainly we accept him. He belongs to all. Chief Minister Yogi stressed that Ram practiced tolerance and patience. I hope that is imbibed by everybody, especially the majority community and the minorities, tolerance and patience. We've got to be tolerant and we've got to be patient. The most important statement, I think, was by the RSS chief, Bhagwatji. His opening remark was, "Hosh ki baat mujhse hi kahi jati hai." That means I am the spokesperson for Hosh ki baat. That means something sensible. I think this was very important. He's always been speaking on reconciliation with us, on how to lessen the gap between the two communities. And he also stressed that this should be the end of quarrels on small disputes. Now, I see that this inauguration of the Ram temple will kickstart the process of reconciliation, end of animosity, and end of fights between the Muslims and the Hindus. I think that is the importance of the inauguration of the temple.
But you see, that's one part of it, General. The other part is, of course, there are those who are calling for now Mathura to be reclaimed, for Kashi. Both are there in the courts. On the ground, you have still those hotheads, if you want to call them that, who still will typecast, demonize Muslims. You've had a chief minister of a state saying that Mia traders are responsible for vegetable prices. I'm referring to the Assam chief minister. You have bulldozers that are used, often short-circuiting the law. So the gap between the fine words in Ayodhya and the reality on the ground, who's going to bridge that? Who needs to make the next move? That's my question. Is it the Muslim community who needs to make the next move, or those in powerful positions within the government?
I think it is the majority community which has to make the move. The Muslims have accepted the Supreme Court ruling and they have full faith in the laws of the country. The laws are very clear as to what is to happen to places of worship. However, if these go to the court, I think the Muslim community will again be in a position to abide by whatever the rulings of the courts are, but they have full faith that the Places of Worship Act will be honored. That is one of the pillars on which the Muslim community is hoping, and we are very, very certain that the law of the land will rule. It will not mobs. And I would say that there are two people who can put an end to this conflict. One is the words of the Prime Minister. He is all powerful in the country. The very fact that a person who inaugurated the Ram temple has put paid to the caste system. There's no caste now. Anybody can inaugurate the temple. We all know that the caste the Prime Minister belongs to. The second is the RSS chief, Mohan Bhagwat. We have full faith that he is a man who is in for reconciliation. He's told us that many times. This is what we are banking on. The Prime Minister.
But will the message reach the hotheads on the ground? You saw what can happen. A small incident can spark off clashes. So it's one thing for the they may well have fine words. Will that message reach down? And how will Muslim groups on the ground also respond? There are Muslims also who feel a sense of insecurity, anxiety, and possibly retaliate in their own way. Do you believe that all of that can be sorted?
I am certain it can be sorted out. Look, the Muslims are totally on the defensive. They have been beaten. Their houses have been demolished. And they are not looking for further trouble. They just want a peaceful atmosphere where they can pursue their work for a living. I am certain that Muslim hotheads are a minuscule amount of people, and I am also certain that the RSS has got a very, very important task in this. With Bhagwat Ji, if he gives the instructions to his cadres, and there are hundreds of them in every village, in every town.
Okay.
Those words hopefully will be listened to.
Okay, on that hopeful note, General Zameer Shah, your hope that the RSS message of reconciliation of Bhagwat Ji will actually reach out to those on the ground across both communities. Thank you very much for joining me here on the news today.